Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Breaking Bells. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Bells. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the man with the best beard in all the land, Mr. Jason Lacy. What's up, dude? How you doing, Fluxy?
Good, man. How's it going? It's been a while. It's been a minute.
It's been way too long.
It's been a minute.
Way too long. And let's be honest, it's been entirely too long. You broke up with me, and you
a couple times.
You were like, you know, Bobby, F you.
Bobby, it's not me, it's you.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
It's not me, it's you.
We're not gonna do anything, Bobby. We're done. You and I are done. And yeah, so. But,
well, I mean, look, you didn't even want to do the podcast without me. You're like, we're done. We're shutting it down. It's over.
This is true. It didn't last.
We're putting it to bed.
It didn't go much longer, right? It didn't go much longer. At least you can say that, like, hey, they needed me. They needed me, and they should have done.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. You know what, man? It's weird because when I came back, right? Okay, let's preface this because people are probably like, "What the hell are these two talking about?" They're just rambling stuff. Okay, so years ago, I used to do a little podcast with Sean Capre called "If We Ran Nintendo." Then I kicked Sean off that show, and I brought in Joseph Moran, Mr. Badbit. Then I kicked Joseph Moran off the show, and I brought Sean back. Then I just was like, you know what? I'm firing everybody. I'm out.
I'm done.
My wife left me. I'm out. So I then left completely. And then Sean started this stupid mega or whatever, like this monster he started creating, right? With all these different guests. And I was like, Sean's like, what do you think? I was like, it's hot trash in the summer, Sean. You need to get these guys out of here, man. I'm like, you want to know who I think? This is who I would pick. He goes, who? I said, I would pick Jason Lacy. And he goes, Jason, man, that's a good pick. Every time Sean needs a podcast host, I always direct him where to go and who to pick. And I picked you. And I was like, Jason.
It's like you know, Sean.
Like the back of my hand. I told him to go with Luke Lore. And then I told him to go with Ryan Turford. I told him to go with you. And it always wins. It's a winning combination every time that I do this, right? So then, I come out of quasi-retirement, and I'm like, I wanted to come back to do, you know, If We Ran Nintendo, if you guys will let me. And you were filling in. You were doing a great job. You were hosting, basically, trying to hold Sean under control, which is very difficult to do.
It's a journey, man. It's a journey.
He tries to yank the show every which way, man. And you gotta try to just hold it in, man. I can see.
Can we talk about Xbox this week? Isn't there a way?
Yeah.
No, Sean.
It's like, Sean, it's not Xbox Drive, man. Calm down. You get to vroom with a car later on. You know what I mean? Like, do your ball and all that stuff elsewhere. So the thing is, right? So I come back, and then it was the three of us. We were all doing If We Ran Nintendo, and then your schedule just got really discombobulated. Trying to juggle family life and podcast.
Don't have kids.
I told all you guys that. You didn't want to listen to me. I kept telling you the whole time. I told you, don't have wives, don't have kids, and you'll have everything you want in life. In terms of podcasting.
And money.
Yeah. You'll have money in your pockets. You'll be able to spend all kinds of stuff. You'll be able to fund little bastards that want to steal your money for Fortnite V-Bucks.
Yeah, I can get a lot of V-Bucks.
Yeah, here, right. $160 worth of V-Bucks tonight. Thank you. You're welcome, whoever you are. We've already gone off the rails here. This is not Animal Crossing at all. So then, you left, and then Sean and I continued for a little bit of time, and then we shut it down.
Yep.
Started a Cup of Joe and Nintendo, and here we are.
Here we are.
So
now we've gone full circle.
Yeah, we're going full circle. And then I was listening to Nintendo Shack, and you were on there, right? And you were talking about, basically, it was you and Donnie together alone.
Oh, yes.
And you were talking about you're kind of leaving for a little while because you're moving house.
I'm moving. Yep, sold the house.
Yeah,
getting out of here.
Which is going to make it very difficult to podcast, obviously, with no house. I mean, you could do it from the car, but that's, you know.
I do have good news. We changed our floor plan multiple times, and now the one we're finally going to be moving into has a den. Ooh. So it has an extra den office space. So I'm going to move this there, and then I'll have my own. Because otherwise, I was like, I'm not going to set up my PC. I'm going to have to get a laptop for work.
Yeah.
All this nonsense, and then I was like, okay, I'll have a completely mobile podcast set up.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to move my whole office in there.
Nice.
We're good to go.
It all works out in the end, man. That's amazing. It's amazing. So, real quickly, people are like, okay, get to the point here, Bobby. Why don't you introduce yourself? Let people know who you are. I mean, we already did a kind of an intro, but let them know who you are.
Sure. So, again, I am Jason Lacy. I've known Bobby for several years now. Mm-hmm. Been a friend of his, a fan of all his work, and I do a couple little podcast myself. I've done my own staple show, Fluxtapose. Me and my best friend Lucas, we've been doing that 6 years now. Variety crapshoot that we enjoy. Fluxtapose.com, check it out. It's just us hanging out and having a good time. That's really all we've ever tried to do with it, and it's not really. It is a passion project, but it is just like it's just a chance for us to hang out and put our lives on pause and connect, especially now. Because it's like now we can't connect in person. Yeah. So, it's nice to do that digitally. And Ribo, I am one half of the Tank Bros. Never forget. Thank you, Mr. Flavins, for that. And I am a part-time member of the Nintendo Shack over at PSVG. Yeah. Again, like Bobby said, my schedule, I want to be mindful of my family and I don't want to overcommit. And so I step in, and Donnie's got a great team now around him. So I like it when I can jump in and jump out and contribute when I want. And other than that, I'm floating around the internet.
Might I say this, too? Anybody that takes the time to go back and watch a little over a year ago, I did a Guru Direct. One of the best moments of that entire Guru Direct is Jason Lacy's part, which I just throw it to him last minute. Jason, could you do this for me? Like butter, baby. Smooth like butter. It was so good.
Get out of here, Miss Click. Yeah. I'm taking the top down.
It was so good, man. I was like, this is amazing. So get a chance to go back and watch that stuff. It was so much fun.
I forgot about that.
And then the other thing that Jason is very notorious for is he ran me out of arms. I heard you talking about that one day on the podcast.
Any chance it comes up, I get an opportunity to bring it up.
So one night, I just wanted to say this. One night, Jason and I and Sean and
I don't even remember who I was playing.
Josue Ponce. And I think Brendan Myers was the other one.
That's what I thought. I think because it was like Pirate King was his tag back then.
Yeah, so it was all of us, right? We're on, and ARMS had this special way of doing the rooms. And what it was basically you look like Pogs, and you'd move around this like little square space.
Such a cool lobby.
It was amazing. And then it would just be like grab two people and like boom, you're fighting over here, and then grab two people and like boom, you're over here, and the next three and like you're over here. It was just so cool, right? So we're playing together, and the funny thing was the first week Sean and I played, and we were just doing really good, right? We're winning a lot of matches. We're having fun. We're both on Skype talking to each other while we're playing. We're on video chat playing. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting smoked. I took a week off, came back, and Jason Lacy and Josue Ponce beat me so badly, that I literally went to GameStop the next day and traded the game in. I was like, I'm done. I can't play this game. And I liked the game. And that's a bad thing. Like, I liked it, and I was like, I suck at this. I'm out. You are one of, I would say, in my opinion, of my friends, of the people that I know, you're probably one of the best gamers there are.
Wow.
Unless we're playing Tecmo Bowl. Then it's a different ball.
I mean,
then you can't even hold a candle to me. I love that. That was the best.
Joe Montana, man.
Yeah, Joe Montana.
Can't stop him.
So anyway, let's get where we're supposed to be. We're already.
Let me get my head back into the.
We're already 12 minutes in. We haven't talked a single thing about it.
I mean, we can talk about my prowess a little more.
No, that's okay. We
can make time. Oh, all right.
We'll pass. We're good. We're good there. So here we go. 3 questions I like to start every single show off with, just to let the audience and myself know the type of caliber of Animal Crossing fan that we're dealing with. Number 1, what is the first Animal Crossing game that you ever played?
So the first one I actually played wasn't until New Leaf.
Okay.
I was familiar with the series. Like, I remember people talking about it on GameCube, but I was like, it just wasn't connecting with me then. I was interested, but I was like, I for whatever reason, it wasn't something I wanted to jump into. So like, once I picked up a 3DS, I knew I was like, I got to get Animal Crossing, and I picked up New Leaf and just loved it and just kind of dove in. And I probably played it for a good solid, because I had the 3DS Probably like, well, hard to tell. I mean, that thing's lifespan went on forever. But I mean, I got the 3DS like right when like Triforce Heroes
Oh wow, you got a
came out.
Yeah.
So they give you a time span,
Yeah.
and so I probably played it for a good solid year and a half.
Yeah.
At that point, so that was, and like Animal Crossing is like, if you're not familiar with it, like jumping in is like, that's a big change because like for me,
man, it's daunting.
yeah. Like for me, the type of games I play, obviously I like to play competitive games, but I like to play things that are going to challenge me and I have to overcome, like, Hollow Knight. I'm going to play that game until I beat it. Cuphead, things like that. Yeah. Animal Crossing is a completely different experience. You make your own experience. Yeah. So you have to like be able to come in and just run with that.
Yeah. Yeah. There is no game over, no end credits, anything.
Yeah.
Like there's no end game you're playing for. It's just
right.
You're playing.
And being able to wrap your head around like, okay, what do I want to accomplish and set out to do? And then once you kind of make your own little goals for yourself and have your own game plan, I mean, that's what you just go exactly. You run off with.
Now, you played you played New Leaf. That's your first one.
Yep.
And you said you played for about a year and a half?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously at that point, that's got to be, up to this point, it's your favorite one because it's the only one you played.
Right.
Because that's normally question number 2, so we'll skip that one. The third question I ask is, what is your favorite memory of Animal Crossing?
I think so. Playing New Leaf, I had a community because we had Discord finally then. Yeah. Which I've heard you talk about in the past. You're meeting people on message boards or groups. Now we have Discord and all these other more instant. Yeah. It's so much easier now. I mean, talk about the turnip market. Before you had to really roll the dice and be afraid of prices. Now, chances are you're probably connected with 50 to 100 islands at any one time, and you're just like, hey, what's your turnip price today? Oh, you're selling for 400? Open up, I'm coming over. Exactly. It's so easy to win. But back then, it was a much smaller group, and we would let's face it, the multiplayer aspect of that and just Nintendo's connectivity and online experience has always been a bit of a crapshoot. But had a great group of people that I'm still in that community now, but just to be able to play multiplayer with them, trading, getting like the intro and how to play the game. But I think still my favorite probably the experience of all that is because it was what I set out to do when I made my first town, was getting my once I got the coffee shop, because that's all I want is be able to get get my hipster coffee shop set up there, get that going, and then I had all my paths around it, had the city just the way I wanted it. And it felt like a good payoff because that's what I had been building towards all that time. And then to finally like accomplish what I had set out to do, finally you're just like, yes, this feels right.
Okay, so you started off and you said like, this isn't typical Jason Lacy game. What made you get this game?
I think I'd always been, everyone always talks about how it's just like this chill experience and it's just this laid back, relaxing, and you really kind of have to experience it for yourself to kind of really get that as a whole. And I think I wanted that chill side of things. You can't be, as I've aged, I used to be very much like, if Fortnite existed like 10 years ago, that would have been, my thing. Because I for the longest time, I've done, I grew up and cut my teeth on first-person shooters, playing in online leagues, playing on competitive ladders, and just so much of that, constantly improving, grinding hours, and playing over and over and over. And so it's so nice to play something that's the complete opposite of that, where you put in as little or as much time as you want. Yeah. You're not beholden to anything, and you can just organically enjoy it. Yeah. So I think it was having like a complete palate cleanser of everything I've ever played up to that point was something that was really enticing. And then, and like I said, as I've gotten older, like my tastes have shifted, and it's just nice to play something that's so conceptually on the opposite side of the spectrum of what I've always rammed my head into.
What, so when you play a game like New Leaf, like what, obviously you said you were trying to get Brewster, you were trying to get the cafe, the Roost. But like, what do you do? What's your daily, like, you start the game up, you fire the game up, what's your things you do when you start the game up?
Already I've already done like I have my routine already. It's funny how you settle into it and you start going. So now, like especially now in New Horizons, I have the whole thing. I leave my house. If I got mail, I grab it. Otherwise, I head north to my orchard. I harvest all my fruit that I can, sell that off. Then I patrol the beaches, looking if I've got any bottles to pick up. Maybe if I have any castaways I need to save and repair any cell phones. So I make my patrol of the beaches, and then usually after that, then it's let's go digging, find any fossils that I need to. So I'll make a patrol, find all my fossil. But now it's like Egg City, so I'm I'm dealing with all that. But really, that's kind of my routine. Is first I'll patrol around, and depending on what I dig up. So luckily, like I've had a pretty fairly reoccurring with I just had, what is it? Forgive me because I can't remember his name. The fishing guy. CJ. I knew it was something J. I've had him and I had Flick just within a couple days apart. It's nice that I had just a reason and to kind of actively engage. But like my problem, like it's a bit of a frustration I have right now is I'm not too far into the game. Into New Horizons. I don't know how much time I've actually sunk into it, but I'm still getting really heavily, I like to refer to it as day gated. So I can't, like, after a while, I feel like I hit that wall where I'm not really going to get any more investment by playing. So it's like I might as well just wait until the next day before I can have some happen. So I just got the Able Sister shop like 2 days ago. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I get kind of like I'll hit a wall after a while where it's just like, well, there's not a whole lot more I'm going to accomplish unless I just want to constantly fish and just kind of grind out some bells. But it depends. But really, yeah, you kind of it's weird how you get this whole island rotation where I'll go the same pattern every time. I'll go up, harvest, do the border patrol, look for any newcomers, and I was gonna make a bad joke. I was like, no, I'm not gonna make the bad joke.
Rein it in, man. Rein it in.
Let's go with it.
We're PG here. We're PG here. As I was getting ready to start the show off that way. I told you what I was gonna say off the air. You're like, I don't know about that. We'll fly over there, Bobby. Probably kind of bad. All right, I'm gonna throw this question out there because it's been coming up quite a bit for me lately. A lot of people are calling me on it, and I just want to know your opinion. Is time traveling cheating?
I have my own thoughts on this, and I've heard various thoughts on this, and I guess time traveling, if I'm going to go really specific into it, like the act of time traveling, I'm going to say is not cheating. If you were duping, I'm going to say, okay, that's cheating.
Yeah.
Now, time traveling, I guess if someone wants to get months worth of an experience in mere days, I guess that's their right.
Yeah.
To me, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of Animal Crossing and the whole enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather much play the long game and get much more satisfaction over a longer period of time out of this game than just accomplishing everything at once. Like I see, like, let's face it. I mean, this is the most popular mainstream version of this game to date. There's so many more people playing than people have ever seen in the past. And this listen to me talking as like I've had so much experience in the series. But everything and just social media in general, we're just so much more connected. I've seen so many people that get so much island envy and see what other people are doing, and then they like get so discouraged, or they get like, oh, I have to do this too, and it's like I'm not paying attention to any of that.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just doing my own thing and going with it. So if people want to like jump through extra hoops to try to advance further and get everything right now, I guess they can do that.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm going to take that route. Like, is it a gray area? Yeah. But I say, is it definitively cheating? No, but I just don't get the point of it. Yeah. I don't know why you'd want to do it, because it takes away the essence of what Animal Crossing is to me.
I think the biggest, and I talked about this week because I had a video that went up this week where I talked about like some issues I had with New Horizons. And I think the only issue, like I could see why people do it, because you want to push the things forward. Like, man, when you're told, hey, you can't mess with Town Hall today because we're renovating it, it's like, man, but I want to get it and I want to go.
Right.
I want to keep moving the progress. So I can see why people do it. The ones that throw me off are the ones that like perpetually, like they come in, they play for an hour, they do their tasks, and they're like, okay, we're on to day 2. And it's like, that I don't get. I mean, listen, it's not cheating. That's your discretion. And I think the reason why I ask this question is because I feel like time travelers tend to get a bad rap. Because it's not the way that most of the community plays. It's like, oh, you're a disgusting time traveler. You're and that's not the way I feel. I feel like, hey man, I play my game this way, you play your game that way, and it is what it is. But I feel like you playing your game that way, you're gonna tend to burn out quicker than I am playing my way, because eventually you're gonna run out of stuff to do. And where mine it's the long haul. And there's also another thing where I've heard this thing, and it makes valid sense to me. Like, hey man, I can only play the games at night, and I want to catch all the fish, and I got to play during the day in order to catch all the fish. So I come home from work, and I click back to the morning. Hey man, I totally get it, because I'm the type of person that has to collect everything, fish, bugs, fossils, all that stuff, and I lose my mind. Like, I literally sit there with a chart and go, okay, end of the month's coming, what fish are leaving this month?
What fish do I need to get?
I gotta get them, you know? Like, I literally spent like 3 days trying to catch a stringfish, because I was like, I gotta have this thing before the month is over.
I'm not waiting until next March.
No, man, exactly. So I'm not that mindset of like, oh, you're discussing time travel. Like, listen, I am the biggest ball buster in the world, and I will totally say it on stream, and I mess with Chibi and I mess with some other people, but like at the end of the day, like if that's what your enjoyment is, more power to you. Enjoy the game, because this is the thing, what I'm seeing right now with this game has me so excited, because this is the first time that so many new people are playing, that like this is, I kept asking the question, thanks to Donnie Reese, leading into this game, was like, man, is Animal Crossing a top tier Nintendo franchise? And going in, Donnie had totally believed that, like, hey, it's not a top tier franchise. I'd say now, without a shadow of a doubt, this game is top tier. There is zero doubt in my mind. Like, the numbers are coming across. They're saying that it's outsold Smash and Pokemon, like, in the same amount of time.
Yeah. What did it just sell? It just outsold Mario Kart in Japan, right?
It's nuts, dude. Every time you turn around, it's breaking records. And I think that, like, you have this game that's happening, and it's like, oh my god. So yeah, I'm just happy people are playing. I don't care how you play it, enjoy it, love it. Like, don't ever think for a second that like I'm judging, because I don't. I think it's amazing. Now, like you say, glitches, you're taking advantage of glitches, you're duping and all that. That's cheating. That's totally cheating. So.
It's like, I mean, yeah, you can make it a focal point game, but it's a fantastic, like, companion game too. Like, for the past 3 weeks, I was playing, well, longer than that, but I was playing through Secret of Mana, then I was jumping in Animal Crossing, then I just played through Chrono Trigger, and I would jump in Animal Crossing. It's that great. It's so easy to like play that and something else, because you can have just those few tasks that you're going to do periodically throughout the day, or you can just invest a ton of time into it. But I'll tell you what, like, I'm getting lost in the design side of things. I'm making pixel art in there. Oh my god. I love it.
Well, I got Rybo over here. So the one day in chat, Voide is like, I streamed the whole first week of the game, and I'm playing, and Voide is like, is this
the itchy forehead moment?
Yes. So he's telling me he wants to make me something. I said, make me a fishing pole. He's gonna customize it with color. I said, I'm wearing black today. He sent me black. He mails me a pink one. I'm like, okay. So I'm staring at the camera. I rub my forehead. Within minutes, these guys got like, first off, they got gifs of it. Then they got it like, they're making like the pixel art of it. It's in the game. they're coming to my town. They're wearing the shirt. I fly over to one guy's town because I'm going to show up. The whole map is just my face giving the middle finger, like the whole ground. I'm like, what in the heck is happening, man? It's nuts. But I'm with you, man. I'm loving the whole design aspect. What I want to ask you is this. Did you see the Earthbound map?
Yeah, I did see that just the other day.
God.
Like, how much time you had to sit there and think out how many separate tiles you'd have to make, and then just the fact of placing it all. I mean, insane. It's mind-blowing.
It is madness. To me, this is why Nintendo needs a Dream Suite. This is why we need to bring the Dream Suite back. Because, man, I would love to just walk around that town for whatever, an hour. I would examine everything and go through all the little detail. Like, it is such attention to detail. Like, it is unbelievable, man. And it gets me super excited. Like, there's also a link to the past.
I say there's got to be some Zelda stuff in there. I haven't looked personally.
Someone built the Link to the Past map. It's just mind blowing to see, and this is what I talked about leading into the game. Like, if we can get into this, where Nintendo goes, "Hey man, we're gonna sell you a Mario pack, and it's gonna be Mario Dirt, and Mario Grass, and Mario Hills, and all this stuff." Man, sign me up, because I will buy that stuff every day. Like, similar like Minecraft, where you could buy these texture packs. Give it to me, man. I'll buy the texture packs. I'd be all over it.
Because I haven't played that far into this one yet. Mm-hmm. Are there any other like housing customizations that we get? Because I would really love to be able to like customize the exterior of my house and be able to pick, besides just picking the roof color.
No, you get the roof color, you get the siding, you get the door,
perfect. Okay.
You get there's a bunch of different things. It's very similar. The options are. I can't tell if the options are less than New Leaf or more. I will say the house is smaller than New Leaf. You get the big, because New Leaf, it was you built the room, then you built that room bigger, then I think you went a third size, then you went room left, center, right, and then I think you expanded them one time, and then you got the upstairs, and then you got the basement. This is different. This is, you get the middle room. I think you go up one size. I think you do the left room, back room, right room, or you do the back room, left room, right room.
Back room, yeah.
Then you do upstairs, and then you do downstairs. They don't make them three rooms any bigger, which stinks, because the whole thing before was like you would buy these themed furniture sets, and you would put them in, and it's like there's no room for everything. Like, I have the one room filled with this stupid Easter stuff. I got crap hanging on the walls. I can't fit everything in there. I got one chair with this giant table in the middle. I'm like, this stuff is garbage, man. Garbage. But I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, that Mario pack would be awesome, though.
How great
just
would
stuff like that. Like themed. Oh, yeah.
Even Zelda, dude. Like, come on. The one thing we haven't seen yet is the Nintendo items. That was always a staple to a lot of...
we've got the Switch. That's all we've got.
I got the Switch. I got the Animal Crossing Switch as well. But that's
Remember at my New Leaf, I had like the R-Wing proudly displayed in my house. And then, you get all the like... You had the other consoles that show up. And just the weird random elements from every game.
You would get like a Metroid in a glass case. You would get the... all that stuff. Like, that stuff was like, you get the Superstar, you get the flagpole.
Oh, yeah.
You have all kinds, like the red shells, you get the Mario Kart. Like, there was all kinds of stuff, man.
I mean, is it sad just like when hitting the bell rock, I get excited because once you get high enough, it makes the Mario coins, or it makes the extra life sound. You're just like, yes.
Yeah.
Any sort of like incorporation of other Nintendo elements inside of that would just be a really cool change.
Rybo's saying bring back the NES games. And those were kind of cool. They were in the GameCube. You don't really know any much about that. But like, the one thing that I would like to see is,
you had like the full-fledged. You had like all the old classic games inside that. You you dig them up, and then you had the classic consoles, and you could play all the games. That's how they introduced the new Virtual Console. They'll introduce the Nintendo 64
Could you imagine that? Oh, people lose their minds. I gotta buy this thing for $80. I gotta buy this game for $60 in order to get these free games. I can hear Nintendo fans now screaming. Well, I hear the Nintendo dads now complaining about it. It's like the funny thing is
now I'm wishing though I would have went crazy at Five Below, and because now all those amiibo are relevant again.
You ain't kidding, man. But that's what I was gonna say. Like when you played New Leaf, right? When they did the Welcome Amiibo thing, they actually brought in a 3DS and a Wii U, and there was 2 games, mini games in them. The Wii U one was really actually awesome. It was Island Escape, which was in Amiibo Festival, and that was a really good game. It was a lot of fun. So I would love for them to bring that back too. Like, here you go. Like, here's the Wii, or the Wii U. The only cool thing about it is this thing. Like, you guys you didn't like the console when it was out, but here you go.
Walu Plaza. Come on.
Yeah, right. They're saying in the chat that like this game lacks a little bit of charm that New Leaf had, and I agree to some extent, man. I really do. Like, I think what happened was, I think Nintendo lost their way a little bit. I think by giving us terraforming, they kind of thought like, okay, they don't need all this other stuff. But like, man, retail's missing, the post office missing. Leaf is coming at the end of the month, but we don't have Brewster, so we don't have the Roost. Like, I'm literally playing I thought about this tonight. I'm like, I'm playing Animal Crossing. First off, it's a Friday night. Why the hell is KK Slider here on a Friday? He's supposed to be here Saturday. Oh, why? Because they utilize him in the town square. And my thing is like, man, give me the Roost and put KK Slider in the Roost. And then you can do it Saturday night no matter what.
Oh, there you go.
Because it will not change anything. It will not change a thing. Like, we're missing so much stuff from what New Leaf had. And I don't know whether... But my gut tells me we're getting it all. My gut tells me this is the same... There's some people on this team that made this game that worked on Splatoon. And we know how Splatoon works, where you get them updates.
That was the point I was just going to bring up.
Yeah, and I think that because I was playing... I posted a picture on Twitter today, or yesterday, that I was playing and I did my evaluation from Isabel. And in the evaluation was an obvious letter from Daisy May talking about how she hopes that her grandmother's knees get better because she would love to bring her to the island to check it out. And I think she called her Graham or something like that. And it's like, okay, so Joan's still alive, for those that were trying to say she was at that tombstone. Like, F you, that's not true. And
Rest in peace, Joan.
Then what was the other one I saw? Oh, I saw someone talking to a villager yesterday that the guy was all hepped up on caffeine from Brewster. And he mentions Brewster by name. So it's like, okay, all right, we're going to get these people, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Switch's position much better in terms of network, where they can really adopt the whole Animal Crossing as a service type, like which they've done with Splatoon, which they've done with Smash, which they've done with these other games, and I think we could see a content drip of new additions as we go. Much as like we always get these seasonal events, but changes to the game, additions to the game, revamps. I mean,
did we think Leaf was going to show up? And we're getting him at the end of the month with Earth Day, so that was a little bit of a surprise, I think. I didn't expect to get Leaf already, which I'm like, who the hell cares about Leaf? I want Brewster, man. Get Leaf out of here. What's some? I mean, the design aspect, but like, is there anything else you're enjoying about this game that's like, oh, that's just like, look, hold on, let's back up. How you said you just got the Able sisters?
Yeah, I just got that like a couple days ago. So I'm paying off my first room expansion in the house. Okay. So I think that was like 240,000. Something like that. I think that's the loan, something like that. Paying that off, but it's because I've been focusing now. It's like because I have it. I'm like, yes, I can build more bridges.
Yeah.
I can get my ramps going, so I don't have to use the ladder constantly to
that thing's
traverse all these different levels. So. Yes, so that's kind of been my focus now, is getting the layout, and then already I've discovered it's like, okay, I didn't really put any thought in when I first let my first resonance go in. Mm-hmm. Plus I had trees everywhere, and I was like, oh yeah, I can just move all these trees. So, revamped that. So now eventually I know I'm gonna have to go through and move where houses are because I don't like that. But it's like kind of coming through. Like the wheels are constantly turning into like what I want to do once I have terraforming.
Yeah.
What I want to do with the water. What I want to do with the different levels of the terrain. What kind of mood do I want this area to be set into? Like I really like what I've kind of found I like get captivated is I really want to like get like a Pacific Northwest kind of feeling with a lot of the pine trees everywhere and get a really woodsy feeling to my island. I'm not sure why, but that's just what it strikes me as.
Bearded bandit, I don't know. You tell me.
I got some plaid on underneath here too. I just got my lumberjack going.
Yeah, that's what I say.
And honestly enough, like Rybo mentioned in the chat, literally I will bring up that I'll pull up my monitor here and I'll think, okay, what sprite do I want to put in the game? And I'll sit here and I'll spend 20 minutes. Like I made Frog from Chrono Trigger. I've got him on a canvas on my wall. I've made Mega Man.
How do
I made
see this
Proto
stuff?
Man.
How do we see this?
I've shared them on Twitter. The ones.
How about you share them in the Discord, Lacy? You're in my Discord. You're a moderator in my Discord. How about you do a little work? You know what I mean? Like,
because I can't keep up in there. I'm like part-time Animal Crosser in there, and you guys are like
them people are
just
nuts.
blowing up.
I love them.
So,
I love them all to death.
I made a Darth Vader today.
Did you really? I gotta see
That's
this stuff.
there. So I'll share them after before I get off. After we're done with the show, I'll post them on.
I got like shooting stars happening right now, so I'm just clicking the A button over.
See, that's the biggest problem is I haven't. I think I've played at night twice. So most of my time is like nap time. I mean, it's a little weird right now because I'm working from home most of the time, so it's like I'll just fish, and I've got my email over here, and I'll just fish, and
I was gonna tag your boss in the tweet tomorrow and be like, check out what Jason's doing when he's supposed to be working. He's fishing. So you're probably like, if you really put time into it, you're probably still a few days away from terraforming.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think when I bet you I haven't even hit 30 hours in the game yet.
Really? I was just checking. That's why I turned it on. I'm at 140 hours. I had 30 hours, Jason, the first weekend.
Here, we'll see. Let's see what we got.
It was madhouse, man. I literally got to get. 13 hours day one. I mean, I was.
Yeah, I saw that when I'm like at work, and I'm like, Bobby's streaming all day.
We're going all day, baby. We're going in deep.
30 hours.
30 hours.
30.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. We got a couple shooting stars here. Sorry. Got to get the shooting stars. Let me turn this game off because I will literally be here for an hour, just sitting here for the rest of the show, just clicking. There's another star. There's another star. Oh, I just missed one. Damn it. Oh man. Nope. I'm trying to get the Aries.
Uninstall the game.
Yeah,
You're done.
No. We ain't going that crazy. We're not going that far. In your mind, what's the first thing you try to design when you finally get terraforming? What's the first, like, do you have it laid out in your mind, like what you want to do? Or?
Not yet. Like, I know I want to have like some cascading waterfalls, like like maybe have one on each side going into a pool and then down to another. And it would be nice to have some bridges, but I definitely want to get that inverted ramp style that people are doing, where you get to you terraform in and then have the ramp going up. So instead of the ramp coming out from the cliffside, it's going up into the cliff. I think that just looks aesthetically so much more pleasing.
Yeah.
I know, like, I already have my house on a cliffside, but I do want to expand just a little bit so I can fit some trees on the west side of my house because there's not enough space. No, it's going to be some trial and error and just see what I want to play around with and how I want to do it. It's funny because like this is like this close to Minecraft is that I'll get because like that's the problem with like I never got that game because it's like what am I going to build? Because the whole survival side of things didn't excite me, but like just the creative side, I think, man, what would I want to do with all of that? And so sometimes if you sit here and think about it, you can get overwhelmed, and that's why I don't look at what other people are doing. Because if you see people doing these grandiose designs, you're gonna psych yourself out and maybe start second guessing yourself. So I just want to be able to just go with it, see what I can come up with.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, dude, when Rybo gets going, I can't wait. Like, this guy is and he doesn't like this when people say this stuff about him. Like he likes to beat himself up a lot.
Is he going to have a farm or a ranch?
He is a farmer. Look, let's stop the nonsense. By the way, we had Joseph Moran out ranching spiders, calling himself a farmer. I said, boy, you don't understand the English vocabulary. You and Sean Capre are just messed up in the head and have no common sense of like what language means or what vocabulary, what definition means. But the thing is this guy, he did a realm in Minecraft and invited me to it. Dude, it is mind blowing what he built there. And I'm like, I can't wait to see what he does with this game, because I can't even imagine the level of stuff that he's going to put together. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be fantastic. But that's the thing with me. Like, in my head, I started laying out day one. Like, the minute I actually got in and started playing the game, I was like, man, this is where I'm going to move this to. And I knew that everything that I was laying out was absolutely just temporary. Like, there was not going to be anything that was not going to be permanent. My idea was like, hey, let's move this stuff around. Museum's here, but this isn't where it's going to be. This is just for now. But the one thing I like about this game, and I want to know your opinion on it, do you like how they kind of locked things away? Like, the map was kind of locked away. It wasn't like our typical Animal Crossing maps.
I think I did, because I think for looking at it as a newcomer, it makes it a little more digestible to kind of slowly expand and further your reach in what you're able to do. Yeah. Now, while being more, an experienced player, and you're not used to that, it gets a little frustrating. Like, just kind of like what I've ran into. But I think if you're looking for an overall design perspective and looking at player experience and kind of guiding them and kind of giving them a way to get comfortable before that without feeling overwhelmed. Yeah. I think it's a good approach.
Yeah. I agree. I think that it was nice with the slow rollout. Are there things that you find yourself going to miss other than like the NPC stuff? Like obviously like the roost and all that. Like, is there things you're going to miss or things that are missing from New Leaf that you're like, man, I really wish this was a New Horizons?
I don't think I can answer that yet, because I just haven't seen I haven't experienced enough of New Horizons firsthand yet to kind of comment on that.
There's a boatload of stuff that I want in this game, and I'm hoping eventually find its way.
I will say there's some like quality of life tweaks. Like, I'd like to be able, like, let's say I want to be able to craft more than one item at once. Like if I'm making bait for my fish, I don't want to sit there and click in and out, and I have to say, hey, I got 10. Do I want to make 10? And if it has to just do the if I have to see a longer version of the animation or whatever, that's fine. But I'd like to.
Me and Pat talked about that. We did. I had him join me in a video this week, and I did like 5 things that need to be changed. And with the crafting, it was a twofold thing. One was, man, don't make me tell you I want to craft. Like, when I walk up to the table, just open it up. The minute I click A on that table, just pop it up and go, okay, here we go. Here's the layout. If you do want to customize, you tab over and you can customize. And then the other thing that I thought was, like you said, like, if I want to craft, well, Pat has a good idea too, but I was like, if I want to craft a bunch of these things, let me do 10. If I have the materials, do it. And the other thing that Pat said that was pretty spectacular was he was like, why do I have to do the flimsy axe to make the axe? Why can't I just go right to the axe?
Go right to it.
And it's like, hey, you need all the materials for the flimsy, and then you need all the stuff for the axe. Like, they should be able to combine that stuff and pick the betterment of it all.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I mean, to me, it seems like that's just updates. Like, that's just stuff that just needs to be updated.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe if people complain, or I don't want to say complain, because complaints, but if people make the suggestion to Nintendo, they're like, hey man, we think that this would be better if you tried it this way. I think we might see them attempt it, like in future updates. I wish that they would have told us, that it was more, you know what I mean? Like, they would have been like, hey, we're going to do this many updates through the course of the game.
Sure.
That would have been better, rather than just like, here's 1 or 2. Or here's what
Bobby, we couldn't even get him to communicate on backing up and restores and all that.
Jason, don't
we can't
start.
do that.
Don't start, okay? You only have one Switch, right, in your house?
I do. I was very close to purchasing a light. Very close, but then I was like, I'll just hold on to the money for now.
Yeah, you don't want to buy a light. Don't buy a light. You know what? I thought the light was a great idea, and then I got 4 of them. Now I'm like, why'd I do this? And now I'm looking at the Coral one, and I'm like, maybe I should probably pre-order this thing.
I mean, you can't stop now.
It comes out like next week, right? Yeah,
I think so.
Because it's not gonna be in stores. That's for damn sure.
No,
that was the original game plan. Walk in the store and get it. If it's there, it's there. So it's okay. So Jason's texted me, or he's
I bombarded. They're all in there.
Oh my god, the Mega Man one is fantastic. Oh, the Chrono Trigger frog, Jason. Wait a minute, you didn't do these from scratch, did you?
No, I pulled up.
Oh, you pulled up images.
I pulled up images and I do a pixel transfer, but I did do some of the Vader I had to customize because he originally had a lightsaber in his other hand. But I'll do some customization with the coloring. But as I look at it, I was like, I just needed to make my own pixel art because I've done enough of these. I could do it, but
it's pretty spectacular. I just need to do the music. The music is what always throws me off.
Yes.
I want something really good, and I'm trying to find it, and I just can't figure out where to find it at.
I tried to do like the Fluxibos theme in there for a bit, but then I pretend to play guitar, it just sits there most of the time. So I'm a musical person, but I've never, what do? I go, I want this song in here. I look it up, I put it in there, but I do say, but it's not a very friendly, I need like an online tool. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's gotta be someone that's made one on there in a browser where you can,
right?
You can design a song because it's very cumbersome to like sit there and test and try to figure something out in that builder if you don't already know what you're doing, because it's not very intuitive. Well, intuitive, yes. User friendly, yes, but it's slow. Yeah. It's a slow process to have to position all the notes, then to play it, and then like, oh, it doesn't sound right, and then tweak it. Like, there's got to be someone. I'm sure someone has a browser tool out there that
you think, right?
Has that in there, so you can experiment, play, and design it.
Yeah, I would love that because my town's named Arkham, and I'm trying to find like a Batman theme. And I just I can't find one that sticks.
Yeah, that's tough because the Batman themes, to get the essence of it, it's much longer.
Yeah, you need more than a little bit they give you. It's like I used to have like na, but it's not. I can't find it no more.
Oh, that, or you could get like the key part of like the Batman '89. I had to like find a clip of it to get you the exact part I'm talking about, but the classic Batman. Yeah, if you did that.
Yeah, that would be good. What? Is there, yeah, right. Is there any? No, not that one. Is there any? Is there anything from this game you're looking forward to?
More of the multiplayer experience, because I've only visited one other island. I've only had a couple people in there. I'm actually looking forward to buying turnips because it's very hard for me to get into the game in the mornings. So I'm gonna have to you'll probably know the answer. Are turnips available as soon as the new day starts, which is like what 5 a.m.
They're available.
So I'm gonna be able to get in there before 6 because otherwise me getting into the game before 12.
It's hard.
It's probably not going to happen. Hard. So just being able to buy turnips, yeah.
I mean, I got to deal with Sean Capri and Pat every Sunday morning, so it's tough.
Oh, sorry. I'm
sorry. You got a son. I got 2 kids. And
you got 2 kids. Well,
it's not easy.
Sean's playing the better building island game experience on the Switch from what his Twitter has told me.
He's so full of crap. He don't know it better. He's from Canada. They don't know it better.
That's true. Honestly, Bobby, just to continue see my vision to its fruition. It's just being able to it's the simple pleasures you get from the game. Like when I decided to let's put 50 trees up in this northwest corner of my island, doing that and just building that. And you got this massive orchard, and then
okay. Let me ask you a question. The orchard. I want to stop you there. The orchard. So, I did a video about trees, and then Rybo, he's got upset already with the Canadian stuff. I apologize, Rybo. I was just kidding. He changed your flag to red. This is the middle of the show, man. Don't be messing up the show.
Okay.
So the thing is, Lord, I lost track of mind. Okay,
Look what you did, Rybo.
Let me get back in here. So orchards, I did the tree video, and a lot of people were like, "Hey, man, you didn't talk about orchards," and I didn't think it mattered, but I didn't realize I forgot how many people do orchards. Correct me if I'm wrong, because when I did my video, I did what I tried to do. Like I planned them one space. It does not work, correct? Did it not work that way for you? Because I literally had to transplant all the trees into the area.
Some of them would grow, and some of them would not.
Yeah.
So what I ended up just after I noticed it, what I just started doing then was either I would grow them outside and then transplant them in, or I would purposely leave gaps. Yeah. And then, but essentially, I was transplanting.
That's
them
the same thing. Okay, because I just want to make sure that like the information I gave was correct. Because
boom. Spoopy in the chat has the Animal Crossing Tune Maker.
There you go.
So there is one right there.
See,
Thank you. We knew it.
That's why this community is the best. Is because you ask for stuff, bang, within seconds. Yeah, because when I did the video, I was like, yeah, you're supposed to do it this way. And then I waited a couple days. I'm like, wait a minute. It didn't grow. They didn't grow at all. Normally, you'd have had them all growing the same height. I was like, okay. So then I moved stuff around, and it was like, it's like the outer trees will grow. The inner trees won't grow. So if you did a square, think of it in, if you're listening to this, think if you did a square, right? And you have lines, and you have the entire square is filled with trees. The inner parts of it wouldn't grow, just the outer parts. And the idea behind an orchard is you're supposed to put them one space apart. If you think of it like a checkerboard, and you start on one particular color of the checkerboard, you are going to fill all those checkerboard spots in of the same color. So if it's a black and white checkerboard, and you decide you're going to start with the white, you're going to fill every color that's white, that's what you're doing. If you do the black one, it's everyone that's black, it's whatever, but that's the way it is, because you need to have a full circle around you open. So as you shake trees, stuff falls on the ground, and it'll be there. How many trees do you have in your orchard?
50 right now.
Wow. Jason. Is anything else growing there?
No.
That is
there's a pond that's cutting off some of it, but yeah, I have 50 trees. I think one of them is native right now. Everything else is non-native. And I think probably once I get to 60-ish, that'll be good.
So you're getting about 75,000 bells every 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
I need to wait. I need to get them so they're all on the same cycle. But right now, it's like probably one. They're probably a third and a third and a third.
Gotcha.
Because based on when they were planted. But
I know in New Leaf there was people I knew that had it similar to that, and they would have they'd be pulling 100,000 bells a day, and it was like, oh my god, dude, you don't need that many trees in your life. But apparently people love it. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, I don't know that I could do that with this game. Where do you think? We're going to wrap with this. Where does this franchise go from here? Where do you see Nintendo going from here with this game?
I think where we could take it a step further on the creative side of things and almost get to what I would envision is almost a cross between, I'm going to pull it with The Sims, and how you got to that level of design of your property to the point now, let's say you get your loan from Tom Nook, and instead of just now you get this is going to let you build this many walls, this many windows, and you get to custom design your room layouts, your home layout with the loan allotment. You got so much you can do with it, and then you're gated that way, and you can kind of continue to tweak that. And then it'd be nice if we could get a way to customize the common space as well, instead of everyone has the same Able Sisters building, everyone has the same community center, having ways to differentiate that across the board. And I think it'd be nice to have more than like a way that you can more than just visiting other towns and taking it, like, we've got this multiplayer aspect now where you can, but like more to that, like if there were some events or something that was multiplayer focused and it had you, I don't know. I in my head, I think about it. It's like, what if there was like some weird trade sequence on your island that you had to do? Like, I think of like the Zelda trade sequence, and you had to trade items and leading to things. Mm-hmm. And I think like events like that. But I really think it'd be some just further customization. So like if you're going to your island or going to visit someone else's island or towns or whatever the future of the franchise is now we're seeing like Animal Crossing city builder. Like somehow we get like more, we take Animal Crossing into almost a simulation aspect of it, where you're running the city, but now you're like on a much more of a more macro level where you're like city planning and organizing, and I don't know, defending the town from the tyranny of Tom Nook. He's gone globo. He's got like he's a giant conglomerate now. He's got this high rise in the middle of the city.
Sounds like it. I lied. One last question. Where do you think this franchise ends up? New Horizons. Where do you think New Horizons ends up sales wise? Can it catch the big dogs?
I'll be honest, I don't even know where it's at right now. I know it's selling well, but I don't know the actual numbers.
I don't know the actual number either. But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get at is,
I mean,
can it catch up to Zelda? Can it catch up to Mario? Can it catch up to Mario Kart?
I don't think it's gonna come to your Pokemon levels, but I think Zelda and Mario are apparently well within reach, because Zelda didn't sell. I mean, Zelda, don't get me wrong, Zelda sells well, but in terms of like the grand scheme, you've got Smash, Pokemon, Mario Kart. Those are those top pillars. But I think this game has the potential to get close to that.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, it's just I knew this was going to be a big change, because we're finally getting a console. We're finally getting to that console version of it, and it's portable still, but we're finally getting that bigger release than what we've got, that we haven't had in a long time in this series. And I mean, look at your friends list.
Yeah, everybody's playing it.
I mean, besides the fact that you have a channel and a community focus on this game, but even beyond that, like if you would look beyond that, like when the first couple nights even now I've played up, I've had more people on my Switch now online than in years.
Yeah.
And like that first week, I had almost 50 people on at one point, and like 3 people weren't playing this game. And it's people I never expected to be into it are playing this game.
It's crazy.
People like Donnie's wife hasn't played a game in forever. He's got to put a dock in their room because she drains the Switch battery over and over. She's playing this game. So there's people that,
I mean, bad.
You wouldn't think. Like, I wouldn't think Joseph would be huge in this game.
He's coming on next week because I really want to know, like, what did it for you? Because he was bad mouthing this game right up to the end. And then, like, he was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm getting caught up in the hype. I'm going to buy this thing. And now he's hooked. And I really want to know, like, what...
Rival says Sean's the only person not going to be playing this game.
Well, Sean's an idiot.
I mean, people that were playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake, then I saw later in the day, they're playing this game again.
Yeah,
and I was like,
they're right back
what?
on it, man. It's craziness. So, anyway, thank you, Jason, for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I love you, dude. It's so good to hang out with you for a little bit. Real quickly, before we wrap it up, give yourself that quick plug before we go.
Oh, yes, you can check out my Twitter space, twitter.com/HeyFluxay, Fluxay. It rolls off the tongue. It's so fun to say. And please check out fluxtables.com. It's my passion project, my little fun podcast. Not always safe for work. We go off the rails. Our content is a little more risque than family-friendly, Mr. Bobby. But we have a good time, and we have a lot of nonsense. So it's always a good time in Fluxtown.
So that is all. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter, and here on Twitch at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.